Whenever we talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict, one sentence dominates the public discourse.
My commitment to the safety of the Jewish people and security of Israel and its right to exist.
Right to exist.
The right to exist.
The right to exist.
But here's the paradox. More than 75 years after Israel's founding, the state demanding global recognition has never defined where its borders begin or end. Much of what we call Israel rests on armistice lines and battlefield gains amid what looks like a policy of deliberate ambiguity. To understand how we got here, we must go back in time. Bear with me, this one's worth sticking around for. In the late 1940s, Britain, which had been occupying Palestine since 1917, relinquished control of the territory and handed its future over to the United Nations. And in 1947, a year before Israel came into being, the UN came forth with a partition plan, one that would be swiftly rejected by the Palestinians. At the time, Palestinians made up the majority of the population across the territory. Yet the UN plan allocated most of the territory to the Jewish minority, giving its Arab majority a smaller share. Today, Zionists argued that Palestinians' rejection of the plan signaled that they would never tolerate coexisting with Jews in the territory. But scholars like Rashid Khalidi say the partition plan was just the first step of the settler colonial project in Palestine. And in May 1948, Israel declared its statehood as Zionist militias, including the Haganah, the Lay, and Irgun, violently displaced over 700,000 Palestinians from their homes and villages to clear and seize their land in what is known as the Nakba, or the catastrophe. Most of the expelled Palestinians were never allowed to return, and many remain in refugee camps to this day. War then broke out between the newly founded State of Israel and a coalition of Arab states after Tel Aviv bombed neighboring countries, Egypt and Syria, with armistice agreements signed between Israel and Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria in early 1949. These armistice boundaries became known as the Green Line, effectively defining Israel's territorial boundaries. But the biggest change came in 1967, when Israel occupied more Palestinian territory, the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, as well as Syria's Golan Heights, tripling the territory under its control in a move the international community largely rejected. Everything that has been happening since the foundation of the Israeli state relates to a larger project, however, Greater Israel. The colonial ambition dates back to late 19th century Zionist movements. Some versions imagine Israel stretching from the Nile to the Euphrates, part revisionist history, part religious political creed, part good old-fashioned colonization. Theodor Herzl, a Viennese journalist who was the founder of modern Zionism, wrote in 1904 about a future Israeli state whose borders extended to the Euphrates. Revisionist Zionist Zev Jabotinsky envisioned the same state absorbing Jordan. And Israel's first prime minister, David Grun, also known as David Ben-Gurion, called Israel's early borders merely a step. Today, the same expansionist vision is echoed in the likes of Israeli finance minister Bezalel Smotrich and far-right settler Daniela Wise.
I want to have for the Jewish nation the promised land from the Bible, from the Euphrates
Yes.
to the Nile. And I'm sure it will be. I don't see anything extreme in my approach.
Israel's liberal supporters abroad dismiss Smotrich and Wise as fringe figures, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also endorsed similar ideas in Hebrew media. During an interview with Israeli channel I-24, a map of Greater Israel was handed to him.
מה זה?
מפת הארץ המובטחת.
יפה.
הגיע הזמן, קוראים לזה ירושלם.
תודה רבה.
אתה מתחבר לחזון?
מאוד.
באמת?
מאוד.
זה ישראל השלמה.
If you want more proof that the Greater Israel project isn't just a fringe fantasy to write off, take a look at numerous children's books that show Jewish settlement in Lebanese territory. And no, it's not just symbolic. An Israeli settler organization, Ori Zafon, recently began offering plots of land and properties inside southern Lebanon, urging Israeli buyers to head north. They even published a map renaming large parts of southern Lebanon with Hebrew titles and advertising future settlements. Plots began at around $80,000. This debate isn't about Israel's existence. It's about where that existence ends. Only Egypt and Jordan have internationally recognized negotiated frontiers with Israel. Everywhere else, Israel's borders seem to be constantly expanding through illegal settlements, land annexations, airstrikes, and the enforcement of military occupation. International law says borders cannot be changed by force. Yet Palestine's West Bank is being carved up via illegal settlements and closed military zones. Much of Palestine's Gaza remains under Israeli control and surveillance as Tel Aviv continues to launch strikes in breach of the ceasefire. Parts of Lebanon and Syria have been turned into Israeli buffer zones. So the main questions remain unanswered. Where do Israel's borders begin? Where do they end? And why, after 75 years, are they still not defined? It seems like Israel is drawing them as it wishes, and the world is being asked to accept them as Israel continues to expand.